Hello again, friends. So, we are going to explain our art activity. And for this art activity, we're going to think back to Mauro Giacone's artworks. Alright, so we are going to try to think about how Mauro looks at an object and simplifies it into lines and shapes. Your first step is going to be gathering your materials. You're going to need charcoal, paper, an eraser, and a drawing board. Your charcoal is going to be your drawing material. Your eraser is going to help you make some fun lines. And your drawing board will help you move around the classroom if need be. Alright, next step, you're going to find an object that you would like to abstract in the room that you are in. If you would like to challenge yourself a little bit, you can try and find an object that has a little bit of meaning to you, so you can put some emotion into your abstract piece. So, what you're going to try and do is you're going to use your vine charcoal to create shapes that you see or feel from the object. You're going to think about being free in your artwork here. So kind of what I did was this shape right here, I separated my hairbrush into shapes. So this shape right here, this kind of oval shape, is the handle of the brush. And then on the brush there's this like metal band that goes across here that connects the handle to the actual brush itself, and that's demonstrated. Then the hairbrush itself has this rectangular shape. And then I think a next important piece about a hairbrush is all the bristles. So in the next slide, I'm going to show you how I creatively put that all together with my shapes and my lines. So I kept moving on with that shape that I made, and I just exaggerated my lines even more. I finished with this piece, and I decided that I wanted my bristles to have more of an importance, since that's such a big part of a hairbrush, like that's what makes it work. So I made these giant bristles. I really want to emphasize that. And I even added these little tiny like circles. They kind of look like balls, and that also represents the bristles, as well as the strong random lines that I felt. Honestly, I just felt like doing, and you guys are totally welcome to have fun with it. It doesn't need to look like your object because you're going to play with abstracting, which you learned about in the video. And Kat is now going to take over, and she's going to give you a demo.
Alright, so I'm going to help you guys make an example for this art piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our paper. Mine is a little bit smaller than the one that you guys are getting, but basically the same kind of paper. You're going to have your kneaded eraser, which might be in a little circle, but mine's brand new. Your charcoal piece, and then you're going to choose an object that you're going to draw that is important to you specifically. So for me, I chose my little paint tube here. I paint every day. It's my major, so I'm going to take this item and look at it. And I'm going to kind of break it down. So similar to the hairbrush, you can see there's like a rectangle, and a little circle, and then this is kind of like a triangle, and this is more of a cylinder, but also could be a circle if I wanted it to be. And I could even play with like the labeling and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my charcoal, my paper, and I'm just going to roughly sketch it out. So like, let's see here. So triangle part, and then circle part, the rectangle. And the great thing about abstraction is you don't have to do everything correctly. So let's see here. I want to play with a label here. Maybe I want to color this section in where the rest of the label is to say that there's a lot of things there. And you're basically just going to go through wherever you think it. Maybe I'll even draw the background that I'm seeing in behind it. And look, there's the little people that we're watching. Woo! So, going to take that, and then we're going to take our kneaded eraser. Now these things are actually kind of fun. So they're a lot like Play-Doh. You stretch them, you pull them apart, you break them into little pieces. So I'm just going to get a little amount. You guys will get the perfect amount, but I'll take like this and stretch it and fold it in on itself. Now you're just going to keep doing that until it becomes a little ball that's all white, or a little bit gray, I guess. And then what you can do with it is you can either keep it flat and take it on your charcoal and drag it down, mix like a little line there. Now you can keep doing that, going up and down, making little lines, and then once it turns black, you can see it's a little bit black now. So it won't pick up as much as the charcoal. So you just take it, tear it up, fold it in itself, do it a couple more times, and it's brand new. So you're just going to keep doing that all the way down. You can take it and fold it again, but this time you can like shape it into a point so it has like a nice little tip to it, which makes a thinner line. Or I can change it up and fold it in on itself again and use this thicker part to make a more broad line. The broad line might take a couple more strokes, but it still shows through. And you're just going to keep doing that to the rest of the piece, and I'll show you how it finally turns out. Alright, so I just finished out the piece, and this is how it turned out. So you can see there's a couple of the lines, like in Maro's artwork, and overall I feel like this actually works a lot and helps with the abstraction, because you can see that there's the lines that move you around up and down, even though the whole piece is kind of in one spot. And one thing that I do recommend is try to get some of these nice dark lines in, because it helps feel like there's lines going up and down. And with bigger patches like this one that are all fully black, you're going to need to use your kneaded eraser and mold it into itself a lot more times, because it's a lot more charcoal for the eraser to pick up, so you're going to need to fold it over a lot more. Overall, I think this will be a really interesting project, and I'm excited to see what you guys come up with.